So you felt pretty good after a session, did you? A little bit?
I did. It was, I'm not one for words, but it was like uplifting, lighter, if that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Grateful, very grateful. It's quite an experience to have your hello work done on me.
Try explaining that to someone. Like, well, Roscoe, what is this hello work stuff? I've been reading a little bit about it, but it's all kind of vague. I said, well, and the best answer for it is, can I please get you on the table?
Have the experience.
Yeah, have the experience. Because once you have the experience, it's like the light goes on and you go, wow, what just happened? Making that body-mind connection is such a unique experience, and every one of us should experience it. As I often say, hello work would be good for everybody, or pardon me, everybody, but everybody isn't ready for it.
I can see that.
Literally, because so many, and you know this in your line of alternative health, the emotional component, the body-mind, most people have had no connection, and they don't know how to make the connection. And it's being able to make the connection with consciousness, but with guidance. Because you literally, I'll have my hands on whatever shoulder, an elbow, a knee, a hip, or whatever, and I'll go like, breathe into where I'm working. I know your lungs don't go here. I know I've had enough anatomy training that I know your lungs don't go down by your knee here, but focus on sending me some oxygen through your circulatory system right here where my hands are. And individuals have never been asked that before. Yeah. So you ask them, and you know that you're going to get 120% effort. They might not know what you're doing, but they'll try desperately, because they're on a table, they're on a therapist table, and this therapist is going to help them, supposedly. So you know that they're applying themselves, but the unfortunate thing, and you explain this to them, they're applying themselves within the pattern that they're most comfortable with. So I'll say relax. And I know there's a little voice in your head going, geez, Ross, when you asked me that 10 times ago, I relaxed. But they don't actually say that. So I'll come back with, I know you are relaxed. You're relaxed within the pattern that you're familiar with, but you're not relaxed to where you need to be. So let's try to go there. Let's try to forge a pathway through this bush and find out the easiest accessibility to relaxation. And then when they find it, after a bunch of cues with either a leg or an arm or a foot or whatever, they'll go, well, that was easy. Yeah.
I saw it like steps. I would relax to this step that I knew where it was.
Yeah.
And then you would kind of push me to a next step of relaxation. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. Think of when I ask, and I've got both of your ankles in my hands, and I said, think of these legs of yours as being 6 feet long.
Yeah.
And what I want you to do is I want you to press down and be fairly aggressive. I want you to press down from the bottom of your rib cage into my hand on the inhale. And initially they'll just, from their back of their knee to their heel, they'll just, and go, how's that, I said, well, you didn't press from your rib cage, did you? You pressed from your knee. So try this again. Your leg's going to stay straight, but press it down from your rib cage. Yeah. The whole exercise changes now. And you can do it on the inhale. Because remember, there's two things that are familiar with Homo sapiens. Hydration, most of us don't drink enough water. Right. And that oxygenation at the cellular level. So Your largest and deepest core muscle is your diaphragm. And that's the muscle that needs training to strengthen from the inside out. So when I'm asking you to press that leg down from the bottom of your rib cage, you've never been asked that before. So now the brain's sending all these little messages, and then it goes bing. Oh, okay, yeah, we can do that. And they'll type in a message. Okay, guys, press down from the bottom of the rib. Boom, and the butt cheek will come up, and the whole side will come up. And they go, well, that was easy. Okay, do it on the other side. So what we've just learned is a pattern. And that pattern can only become a consciousness through repetition. So, it's not the old adage, practice makes perfect, because if that's ingrained in your mind, practice makes perfect, you're going to be practicing within that restricted pattern. Perfect practice makes perfect, which means you're not going to be practicing in that restricted pattern. You're going to be wide open. Your mind's going to be open to a new movement. Once we can get that new movement lodged in there in that filing cabinet and that cranium there, and go, oh yeah, okay, file number Z or M or whatever it might be. And I can do that. I can do that movement. And then I had you hike your hips up to your armpits. Well, how often have you been asked that?
What?
And the musculature between the rib cage and the pelvis is going, you want me to do what, Mom? And then it gets it again, okay? So, and then we'll check those ASAS bones. Remember those front hip bones?
Yes.
And we'll find out if they're level or not, because we checked them in the mirror before we got on the table.
Right.
And usually the pelvis will often be tilted forward, an anterior tilt, but now those ASIS bones will be at two different levels, which means there's going to be compression someplace along that line, that hip, knee, ankle line. Yeah, it's working with that awareness and then consciousness. So I don't know if I asked you this when you're on the table, but I usually say, give yourself permission to elevate your awareness so you're more conscious as to where all the body parts are in space at any given time. And that's your homework. And then when people kind of apply it and they go, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. And literally, Merritt, the yard light goes on. And it's like, I'm free. I can do this. And all I've done is I've given you maybe a half a shovel full of grain, to feed you, sort of thing. But now that you like that new diet, we'll just keep those shovels coming. And you'll be nibbling on that stuff, and you'll be anxious to learn more. We've got to start someplace. Well, we've got to also start with baby steps.
Yeah.
And as we start with those baby steps and have you participating, you noticed a couple of adjustments that happened on your body on the table. Mm-hmm. Those were chiropractic adjustments. But they happened because I was holding a muscle and I had you move.
Right.
So you were the one that was in control.
Yeah.
So important when you're changing a pattern. You've got to understand that I can do this. This is a piece of cake. I can't take Ross home with me, but I can do this. So I try to show you the movement, how to do it at home without my assistance. And when that light goes on, it's a yard light, and it's like, holy smokes, I've never exercised this way, or I've never moved this way. And now you're recruiting fibers that were previously compressed, that were usually the culprit in causing the discomfort or the pain. And you can imagine if people have been in pain for decades and they've been trying this, that, and the other thing, and it's not working, especially going to the chiropractor 3 or 4 times a day. Now, don't get me wrong. I think chiropractic is an essential piece of our health puzzle. It is. I'm not a chiropractor. I've had 1 weekend of a workshop in macro chiropractic. That's it. Mm-hmm. I'm not a chiropractor, but I do have a chiropractor that I refer my people to because he refers his whole family to me. and I refer my whole family to him. But he's great big man, and he's got hands like Florence Nightingale. So it's amazing how the two, because I can't put like a back in place. I can't put necessarily a neck in place or a hip or an arm or something like that. But we can adjust it through movement with palpation of the tissue. And it's usually that tissue that has the issue in it that we can release. And once we release it and you start to move, and from here you're recruiting that muscle now, it will actually pull, okay, or push in some cases, that skeletal structure into its proper alignment.
Yeah, yeah. I think right now is a good time to say, yeah, you don't actually manipulate anything. It's me that was in control of everything. I was in control of the whole scenario, everything. You were just guiding.
Yeah.
So I was very grateful, and I'm fairly aware of my body and what's happening when I'm eating foods or breathing or exercising or sitting, standing. I'm fairly aware, but you had the lights going off of different things going, wait a minute, I thought I knew this. And I'm also going to add in, I'm breathing so much better.
It's fuller.
It is. It's more expansive. And my heart rate has actually decreased. I don't know if that has anything to do with you, but I think it does, because now I'm breathing.
Exactly. Think of, again, Mary, the diaphragm. Yes, it's the largest and deepest core muscle. It's a muscle. It needs to be exercised like any other muscle in its fullest range of motion possible. So that's why when I have you on the octane, I try my darndest to keep you in neutral spine. So you're sitting on your sits bones and you're pedaling out in front of you without compression at the hip and the knee. Then I take you and I put you on the table and I put you in that same neutral spine position. Neutral spine is the key, I believe, in ensuring that a new pattern is being ingrained in that brain. Because if you start from neutral spine, the new pattern, oh, we got to be here, guys, and then everything gets better. The person actually appears to be getting taller because they're aware now of their compression and they're taking it away. They're doing that themselves. Mm-hmm. And the opportunities that come by once all of that compression is gone is you could write an encyclopedia set with that. It's just unbelievable. Yeah. So that's that body-mind.
And the learning was with you afterwards, because I'm consciously now thinking, am I breathing properly? No. So it's getting better, and I'm not needing to think about it as much, but the learning goes with you. It's great.
Like pointing out on the skeletal chart. And I ask, and I didn't do this with you, but I'll usually ask people, I said, what holds those bones in the arrangement that they're in? Well, it's the development of the musculature. And if you're just developing the superficial large postural muscles, you're not going to have the proper gapping between those joints and whatnot that you should have, because if you're trying to strengthen yourself from the outside in, you're never going to get all the way in. So you're not going to be as flexible and as balanced as you might think. But if you start on the inside, if you start with that diaphragm and work your way out, now that balance, that flexibility, that core strength is just going to be unbelievable. But it's understanding it. And I come from the world of weight training the old way. Yeah. On exhale, or you to make a muscle bigger, you got to exhale when you're exerting yourself, which causes compression, which causes macro tears, which makes the muscles bigger. Okay. Right. And you go, look at me, look at the bicep on me, or look at that glute on me, and those lats and those traps and all this stuff. And you go, okay, how strong is this individual underneath all that stuff? And you find out that you're an intrinsic wimp. And that's part of my reason of getting into this line of work is I was so out of balance, but superficially, you look pretty decent. You know, you throw that bathing suit on and go, holy smokes, who's this guy? Or who's this gal? You know, but just trained superficially, not trained intrinsically.
Right.
And that's why dancers, for example, even gymnasts, where they're used to just lifting their body weight, are so balanced. They're just tremendous athletes. Like a dancer is an athlete, a very gifted athlete.
Agree.
Yeah.
Agree. Good. So on your website, I went and did some more research. I know I've been on the table. I've known you for years. I know your clients, and they speak amazing about you. But I did go and check you out. On your website, it says structural integration. So that's really going back to the core and having you work with the ligaments to hold our structure in place. Correct?
Well, structural integration is a term developed by Dr. Ida Rolf, R-O-L-F. And that's where the type of work that I do comes from. It's structural integration is integrating the structure into a more ergonomically correct position. And every one of us are different. On the skeletal chart, where you see it over my left shoulder here in the background, that skeletal chart, it's a chart, it's a picture. Okay, the ideal plumb line from a side view is intersecting the ear, shoulder, elbow, hip, knee, and ankle. That's the ideal, okay? Will every one of us get to that level? No. I've been doing this for 25 years, and I've seen one gymnast and one dancer that were close. Close. So, you know, they weren't even bang on. But that has to do with DNA. Like we are the result of mom and dad's union. So, hello, we're going to get half a dad and half a mom, and there you are. So what we have to do is work with that structure and make it or encourage it to be as open to gravity as possible. If we're aligned with gravity, gravity's our best friend. But if you're not, it could be the one that's giving you all the pain, because that's where your compression's coming from.
Right. Agree.
So there's two constants in life, and it's not death and taxes. The two constants in life are, go ahead, change and gravity.
Yeah.
Because we're constantly changing.
We are, always. Everything. I'm just going to see.
What else did you get off that website?
So your new client form, I like that because you go through so many different things. You're talking about serious accidents and broken bones, because the bones are going to tell you what, well, you already know. You already know, just looking at someone, looking at me, you already knew. Yeah, talking about restrictive movements and pain and tension. I really enjoyed going through that and seeing everything that you're going to be learning on someone before you even see them. Mm. I like that.
That gives me a chance to review everything before the individual gets here. Mm-hmm. So I've got a good sense of what I'm going to see when that person walks in the door. And I can start to develop somewhat of a hypothesis as to how I'm going to approach this when I get them on the table. You got to remember, what Ross Short offers here is a combination of 4 different standalone modalities with Body-Wize. And I'm not just going to offer you hella work. The movement, the deep tissue work is hella work, yes, but the movement is all Pilates based. As you know, I incorporate whole body vibration, which it's just a rage of people getting vibration equipment. The unfortunate thing, a lot of people that are getting vibration equipment out there, they're not as trained as well as they should be in regards to what I should use, what speed I should use, what does this really do? what they want to do is just sell machines. And granted, that's what they're there for. They're there to sell machines, but it is a piece of equipment that can be used so beneficially in regards to rehabilitation if it's used correctly. It's advertised that you lose weight with vibration. That's a crock. That is a crock. But doesn't matter what vibration machine you look at. Oh yeah, and you can lose weight with this. Well, can's the optimum word, because if you're on it 3 or 4 times a day and you're doing all the exercises that the chart that comes with it as well, yes, you're going to lose weight, but it's not because of the vibration. You're losing weight because you're exercising. But so they try to throw these curveballs at you. They just go, that's you're not telling the whole truth here, and
no.
You'll learn as you work with me more. I don't like when they just give you snippets and not the whole truth. It's just, tell me the truth or don't talk to me.
Oh, I've already picked up on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's things that people have difficulty talking about, and that's human nature.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every one of us have different experiences in life, and it's just who we are. I'm not going to share that with you. Who are you? And I said, well, fine, but I'll let you know the stuff that you're holding inside is what needs to be let go in order for this discomfort or pain that you're experiencing to go away.
Right.
And there's where the body and the mind come into unity. I mean, Socrates, said that 2.5 millennia ago. You can't separate body from mind.
No, and you very well show that to me on the table. You picked up on stuff. It's an experience. That's all I can't say exactly what happens, because I'm sure it's going to be different for every person, every different time they're on the table. Everybody's
different.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can imagine after 3 sessions in a day, how this head is just going, okay, I've been in 3 people's heads today. It's time to go mow a lawn or watch a hockey game or something.
Now I understand your rose garden and your flower gardens.
Oh, that's my therapy. And it's mainly my wife. My wife is just a wonderful gardener.
That is.
Yes, the garden is my therapy. That's my therapist.
Yeah. So I also on your website, you talk about, are you an athlete? Do you desire healthy aging? And do you suffer from chronic pain? Which are really good. And then your different things to click on to get help with. Right underneath. I didn't click on them all because I don't have them all.
Well, they'll all take you to the assessment form initially. And then you fill that out and submit it, and then I actually phone you.
The other thing I really wanted to point out, you told me about this on the table, but you have it on your website. You have a 93% success rate in reducing or eliminating chronic pain in your clients. I'd love for you to explain that a little.
Well, there's an assessment form, and there's also another form that I have you fill out. It's 10 questions, and it asks you on a 0 to 10 scale, and we do this together when you first walk in the door, how you feel about your health, how you feel about your well-being, the knowledge of your body. There's literally 10 questions, and you answer 0 to 10. So it's that particular form that I came up with 93%. I evaluated, I think it was over 200 people that had done the full 11 session Hello Work series with me. And if you gave me a 5 before you started the series and you ended it with a 7, I got a gold star. But if you were a 5 and you ended in a 4 or a 3, I got a black star. Well, 93% of the time I got a gold star. So we improved your health. We improved your well-being. We improved the knowledge of your body. We improved all those 10 questions. So that's where that 93% comes from. I'm quite proud of that.
Yeah, I would be too.
A lot of people have actually avoided surgeries doing the series.
That would be a good thing for many, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I know I'm not doing any surgery unless I really need to.
You know, Mayor, I stumbled across this line of work. I was a member of the RCMP, and I was so damn proud to be a Mountie. I got into Mounties in 1975. Once my hockey career, I just couldn't play anymore. I couldn't pass a physical because of my knees. But I was able to pass the Mountie physical, and I got in the police force. And my dad was just, his chest was just so big because both of his boys were Mounties. Anyway, long story short, 1995, I didn't think anybody could be in more pain than I was in. And I went through this plethora of tests with Western medicine with my GP, and all the tests came back negative. And basically, my GP sat me down and said, you know, unless you take these Tylenol 3s with codeine that we're prescribing for you, we can't help you because we don't know where this debilitating chronic pain of yours is coming from. Well, needless to say, I sought another opinion. And a colleague of mine, he was a Mountie as well, but he'd been in a few car accidents, and he was also a really good athlete. He'd been to the Victoria Pain Clinic. And he said, short man, he said, why don't you try to go to this pain clinic just to ask the division health officer, and you'll be sent. So I did. So it was a 10-day live-in program run by a medical doctor, Dr. Michael Greenwood. And at that time, he'd written at least one book on chronic pain. I think he's written at least 2 or 3 more. And his program offered a smorgasbord of alternative modalities dealing with chronic pain. And my body best responded to heller work. And I went, within 10 minutes, I could feel this pain leaving my body. And in the 10 days, I think there was 14 of us that were there. Everyone had 3 sessions of each modality that was offered. In that first session of heller work, I could literally feel the pain leave my body. And I went, holy smokes, if this is working for me, how many thousands of other police people, because I was only thinking of police people going to be on my table, can I help? Lo and behold, I've been doing this 25 years now. I can count on 2 hands the amount of police people I've had on my table. Literally. And there is a reason for it. You get spoiled rotten in a police constabulary because your health is paid for you. Now, you can get almost anything done and your health care system will pay for it. Well, unfortunately, what I do, you have to pay me. It's not taken care of through insurance. So, and that's our big hurdle with structural integration. It doesn't matter what school you come from. If you're saying on your receipt that you're doing structural integration, there's very, very few insurance companies that will actually pay for it, unfortunately.
Well, those insurance companies are paying the monetary.
Yep.
You're paying for the pain.
Yep.
Yeah. I'd rather pay you. I really would.
Thank you. Thank you. But, you know, we were going to have this interview last week, and you hadn't been on the table yet. So it's literally just juicy once you've experienced it.
Yeah. Yeah. It is it's an experience. I was on a hike the other day with some ladies, and I was trying to explain, like, you need to do this. I don't know how to explain it. It's not really massage. It's not really, you know, you have to do it.
Yeah. I've had so many registered massage therapists and other massage therapists on my table that go, you know, this fascia stuff wasn't in my curriculum. This is the older RMTs speaking. Mm-hmm. The RMTs that have graduated with, say, in the last 5 years, the college has incorporated some fascial training in their curriculum. Some. But my courses or my workshops that I offer are usually, you know, it's going, come here, massage therapist, or I've had a number of chiropractors come and work in my workshops. It's just, it's so uplifting because it's not in their curriculum, and it's so, so important. I remember as I explained to you with fascia and how ubiquitous it is in our bodies, that it wraps every muscle fiber, every muscle bundle, every muscle group, every nerve and every organ. If you could take a pill that would eliminate your skin, your bones, and your organs, you would see a transparent structure of yourself in front of the mirror. It is literally everywhere. And then I go into the Jello analogy.
Yes.
Remember? And once people get that information, they go, oh, so it's in its natural state, it's water-like. I said, yeah, it is. Okay, so you should be moving as if it's water.
Yeah.
You know? But if a muscle isn't moving in its full range of motion, it gets sticky and gluey, just like that Jello when it hardens. But the Jello can go back to a liquid with heat. So my fingers, my knuckles, my elbows, my forearms, whatever I might be using on that tissue of yours, I'm going into that body with one intention: normalizing that fascial matrix. And that's what we structural integrators are trained to do. It's easy to do. But in order to recruit that musculature that you've just opened, you have to be participating through movement. So you got to learn how to send a message from here down to wherever, saying, okay, guys, we got to recruit you. You know, you got a ball game to play, or you got to go on a hike or something like that. And you're not going to offer some pain and some stiffness and compression to this body that you're living in. You're actually going to work.
It is work.
Yeah.
For me, I really needed to. I remember one time I covered my eyes because I was trying to concentrate. And the first time I did, I was concentrating. I swear I was concentrating. I wasn't doing it. So I covered my eyes. I don't know why my eyes were closed anyways, but I covered my eyes. And then I did it the way that you had asked me to do it. And that was right at the beginning. And then I learned from there, and yeah, stepping stones, right?
It's baby steps. And if you put a leap in there and you miss a rung of the ladder or a stepping stone, the brain is going to be a little ticked off at you. And it's not going to be fun anymore. Learning has to be fun. It has to be fun. You got to enjoy it. Once you enjoy it, it's easy to go back to. If you're not enjoying it, it's very difficult to go back to.
Yeah. Yeah, you did that really well.
Thanks.
Yeah. I can't wait until I do my next session. I'm going to do the 11 session program with you. I just can't wait. I'm so looking forward to it.
Oh, that pleases me. Thank you.
Yes. Good. Is there anything else that you wanted to touch on?
No, just keep the word going, girl. Thank you so much for talking to those gals you were on the hike with. Just a second. I feel I'm getting hoarse here. I need a little bit of a drink of water.
Mm-hmm. I get that. Me too.
No, I think that's about got everything. What's the rest of your day look like?
I'm, I don't know, doing some more videos and doing some more posts, letting people know what I'm doing. I have some follow-ups to do.
I've got an old friend coming over, about 2. We were the first 2 hockey players in Grand Prairie to actually, at our mini ice-capades thing that we had, because we had an ice show with the figure skaters every year. We were the first. There was 2 figure skaters that came and asked us, let's do 2 pairs and we'll do an ice skate and we'll teach you guys how to figure skate and we'll do this. And this had to be in 1969 or something. I think it was 69. And so it's the guy that was skating with me. He only lives about 4 blocks away. He's coming over.
That could be a good afternoon.
And I haven't seen him in 40, maybe 50 years.
And he only lives 4 blocks away.
Well,
back then?
back now, he only lives 4 blocks away, but I left home and, you know, we went on our separate ways and had our lives and so on. But he lives about 4 blocks away. He's in a lot of pain. So I saw him post on Facebook and I said, Stan, give me a call. Here's my number. So he called, I think 2 days ago. And I said, get over here. I think I might have something for you. So what I plan on doing is just show him what I do, especially with the vibration, because vibration, clinically, it's been proven that vibration can reverse or slow down completely osteoarthritis.
Very good.
And this is what he has. This is one of the things he has. So we'll see.
I have faith in you. You'll help him.
I sure hope so. I sure hope so.
In one way.
You know what? I can't wait till you get back on the table too.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be great.
Good.
I know. Thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me. Thanks for doing this, even suggesting it.
Absolutely.
Take
Got to
care.
get the word out. This is how we do it.
That's right.
Okay. You have
See
a
ya.
great day.
You too, Mayor. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye now.